So lately I've been tackling this topic of narcissism, and I've been sharing my own beliefs and viewpoints on what narcissistic behavior can look like. And as I've been doing that, what I've noticed is that several of you have a narcissist in your life and you're trying to manage that experience. And it seems that it's really cathartic or helpful with the recovery process or the healing process to share what those experiences look like and sound like, and to realize that you're not alone. Have other people respond and say, oh my gosh, that's exactly how it is for me as well. There's some value in us normalizing the experiences we have. And so because I've seen how helpful that has been for many of you, I've decided today I want to share 4 things or phrases that the narcissist in my life has said and why I think she does it. So again, this is just for fun, me being a little bit vulnerable here and opening up and sharing some of the experiences I've experienced with the person that has been a narcissist to me. So I'll just dive in. The first thing is that she will say the words just or even or only. And let me explain a little bit what that looks like. So she'll say, you couldn't even have been bothered to just step outside that restaurant last night and just send me a quick text or just call me for 5 or 10 minutes. That was all I was asking for, but you couldn't even do that. And the narcissist says things like this to make us feel, as the recipient, that the ask or the request is not a great one. It's not a big one. It's a simple one. It's a basic one. And any person with any care or compassion would have done it. And what's amusing to me is that some of the requests that the narcissist in my life has made have not been basic or simple requests. The narcissist has said to me, all I'm asking for is just for you to call me once a day, just to check in and talk for 10 or 15 minutes. Or all I wanted was you to just tell me when you were leaving, when you were coming back, who you were going to be with, and what you were going to do when you got there. I just wanted to know that, but you couldn't even do those things. And that was the only thing I was really wanting. But as I've thought about that, nobody else in my life has asked me to call every day or tell them down to the detail, minute by minute, of who I'm going to be with, where I'm going, when I'll be back. The narcissist expects these things because they're the main character in their own story. They like having this very central role in life, and especially in the lives of the people close to them. So if they can make their audience feel like, hey, I'm not asking for that much. This is just a simple, basic thing. And if you're not willing to do that, you're not a very good person. If they can get you to believe those things, then they'll be able to manipulate you into doing all the things that they want, and you to be roped into picking them up and calling them and showing up and being the one to kind of take care of everything. And it's no big deal. It's just or even or only such a small thing. And so that's when I see that language get used, and it's there. It's designed to help me feel like, oh, yeah, I guess I really could be doing more. What I realized with the narcissist in my life after many, many years of being talked to this way is, wow, their requests are kind of great. And I don't want to do all of these things. And I've expressed that, and they're not really listening to me. And so I'm just not going to be able to continue doing those things. And they may continue saying, gosh, you couldn't even be bothered to call me back within an hour, regardless of what you were doing or why you were held up in another appointment, another meeting. And you have to just say, yep, that's true. I wasn't able to do that. The second thing that the narcissist in my life has said is the words normal or reasonable when they're describing what behavior should look like. And so the way that looks is, Amy, a normal, reasonable person wouldn't have ever done this. A normal, reasonable person would not be doing what you're doing or saying what you're saying. No normal person would feel that way about this. And again, that's designed to make the audience feel that they are abnormal and they need to rethink their actions or their viewpoints. And again, this is so that the narcissist doesn't have to change their viewpoints. Normally, narcissists are very black and white in their thinking. It's right or wrong. It's yes or no. It's very binary. And they don't have a lot of acceptance for viewpoints or opinions or beliefs that are different from their own. So if they can say to you, hey, a normal person wouldn't think this, then you start thinking, oh my gosh, is that true? Like, am I not normal? And my response to this has always been, well, normal is just a setting on a dryer. That's a quote from a friend of mine, Lindsay, and I've loved that quote. And it really speaks to the truth of what's normal. There really is no normal anymore. We've got lots of shades of gray in what we believe and how we behave. And there should be more tolerance and acceptance of different viewpoints. Anyone that says it has to be this one way and that's my way and that's the right or wrong way can be suffering potentially from some signs of narcissism. The reality is there's many different ways to do most things, assuming they're not immoral, illegal, unethical, and there should be freedom of expression for us to do things on our own. And so the narcissist is not going to want you to believe that, because the narcissist is going to want you to believe what they believe and share all their viewpoints so that the world can make sense to them and they don't have to develop a mindset of like, yeah, maybe I'm not always right and maybe there's multiple ways of doing it. There isn't a right and wrong. The narcissist struggles with that kind of concept. One of the other things the narcissist will say to me is the word obviously. Well, obviously it's this. And again, that's designed to help you believe there's an answer, it's yes or no, it's as clear cut as 2 + 2 = 4. Obviously, that's the right way of doing it. Well, obviously, it's this. And that also helps them bolster their opinion of their own intelligence. If they can tell you that something is obvious and it's self-evident to them, well, then it should be self-evident to you. And if it's not, then you have a problem. The word is sort of snuck in there to say, it's this way, absolutely, without a doubt. And so don't question that. Don't question me, because the narcissist doesn't really want to be questioned. They don't like differing opinions. They're not there to have a dialogue or a discussion. They're there to make their points, prove their points, and be respected and taken at their word. And so if they can say, oh, obviously it's this, then you won't go do your own research, you won't talk to other people, and that's a problem for them. Finally, the fourth one is that they'll say, apparently, or I guess. So the way that'll kind of sound is, well, apparently you just, I guess you're not going to do this. And I guess it's just going to have to look this way going forward. Or apparently you're not willing to come pick me up every single weekend and drive me around and do these things for me. I guess I'm just going to have to find another way if that's how it's going to be. Again, it's designed to have you rethink your opinions, to think, gosh, maybe I'm really being unfair here. Maybe I'm at fault. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. It's designed to also communicate disappointment, dissatisfaction, and negative feelings. It's designed to help the person say, well, gosh, she really doesn't like that. She is struggling with that. I can't have that. That feels so uncomfortable for me. I should fix it. I should change what I'm saying, what I'm doing, so the narcissist can be okay, because, gosh, she is just really struggling. What I've noticed is that with all of these things, you can simply say, yep, that's true. Yeah, I wasn't just able to call every single day. I'm sorry that you're choosing to be bothered by that. Yes, I do have a different opinion on that. I'm not really interested in what normal is from your viewpoint. I don't really think there is a normal. We all have different opinions, and I wasn't trying to be normal, so that's okay. You then start to strip the narcissist of their sea legs a little bit, because you're saying, I'm not really held to your beliefs or values of what's acceptable and what's not. I've got my own beliefs and values of what that is. And I see things differently from time to time. And so that way you're not able to fall into the trap that the narcissist creates for you that, hey, I'm not doing well, I'm hurt, I'm offended, I'm insulted, and it's up to you to make me feel okay. You allow the narcissist then to have to work through it on their own. And maybe they won't. Narcissists often don't. Most of them are not very self-aware. They're not interested in personal development or growth or transformation or evolution. They're not interested in humility or being updated on their thinking, finding new and better ways to see the world. They've got it right in their mind, and they're very ironclad about those viewpoints. And so you may end up having to say, yeah, I'm really sorry if that hurts your feelings or if that's the way you see it, but I do see that differently. And so I guess we'll just disagree on this one. So that's been kind of the experience I've had throughout my life with the narcissist in my life. There is hope for recovery, but it starts with us all believing that our viewpoints matter, our own beliefs matter, that our feelings matter. It's not just about what the other person tells us matters, and us being strong enough to set these boundaries and say, just because you're heard, or just because you felt this was a simple request, or just because you think I should feel this way, doesn't mean that I have to. I've got my own approach to that. And so, sorry if that's a problem for you. With that, I hope everybody makes a great day, and I'll see you next time. I hope some of this was helpful or resonated with a few of you. Peace.